right, the NFL draft is this month, and today we'll be talking about the AFC North, my favorite. Now, the Cleveland Browns don't have a first-round pick because of Deshaun Watson.
One for that. Ever.
However, some things they could take. Their first pick is in the second round. A lot of things people are talking about is the defensive tackle for the run defense. And the name that gets brought up a lot is Travis Jones, defensive tackle from UConn, to help Myles Garrett out. I think they could possibly use a receiver if there's anyone available in that round because all they have is Amari Cooper. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think wide receiver makes a lot of sense in the second round. I don't really know who's going to be available there, but I feel like that should be their target, especially if they don't re-sign Jarvis, which we still don't know yet. So, definitely makes sense there. I'd say wide receiver.
Yeah, wide receiver. The depth for the position is so big. Honestly, I feel like they could definitely get a round one type caliber player in round two if they go with the receiver position. So I think receiver is probably the smartest thing that they could do.
Yeah, probably. Now, next up, Cincinnati Bengals. They obviously made it to the Super Bowl, so they have pick number 31 in the first round. Surprisingly, a lot of people do not have them take an offensive lineman, which kind of makes sense in a way because they spent
They don't?
No.
Why?
Because they spent over $100 million in free agency on offensive linemen.
Yep.
They got Linnell Collins, they got Ted Karras, and Alex Kappa.
Didn't they just get rid of Uzmo too?
Yeah, mine's a tight end, but
So they might snag a tight end.
they could snag a tight end. But everything that I've seen so far has them actually taking a cornerback.
Makes sense.
They didn't re-sign Eli Apple. Or they
They
did
did.
re-sign
They
Eli
did,
Apple.
but you know,
So
how
they
good
should
is he?
get
And they
more
could
depth.
use some depth there. Some names that get brought up is Khair Alam from Florida. We got Kyler Gordon from Washington, Andrew Booth from Clemson, and then a tight end that some people bring up is Trey McBride from Colorado
They
State.
lost Lil Uzi.
Little Uzi's gone. Would I waste that pick on a tight end?
Well, it's a late first-round pick. So
It is a late first-round pick, but if there's a good corner there, I've seen a lot of people having them take a corner, and they could use it.
Dang, because I was going to say Kenyon Green if Tyler Lindenbaum made it like offensive lineman because just keep beefing up. Just
I know.
getting
I
better.
guess
it's a bad
people
thing.
thought that they got
the
enough
fact
in
that they're
free
going
agency.
in free agency to do that, I feel like that's a area of need, and they want to keep hitting it home. So I feel like offensive line.
And
I
it
mean,
doesn't hurt to have depth in the offensive line either.
I
You
feel
see
like
what
linebacker too.
You see what they did last year. They built their entire defense out of free agency. They didn't even really draft anybody last year for the defense or anything. So, I mean, it's able to be done through free agency. But, man, that offensive line I feel like is a target that they're kind of not pushing to the side but not really targeting. I think that's their biggest need right now. Truthfully, I really do.
Yeah, like I said, it is a late round pick.
Yeah.
And they did hit it pretty hard in free agency. Spent most of their money on the offensive line. So I mean, they should be better, regardless. But I mean, we'll see. All right, next up, Baltimore Ravens, pick 14. I think they're going to go on the defensive side. Their defensive line isn't the youngest.
Oh yeah.
Name brought up is defensive tackle Jordan Davis from Georgia.
Oh.
We got a cornerback, Trent McDuffie from Washington. A good edge rusher is George Karlaftis from Purdue. These names are just tough.
That's what I think they're going to take, Karlaftis or Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah.
That name got brought up a lot. An edge rusher because they're trying to get to Darius Smith, and everybody thought that was going to go through. It didn't.
Yeah, he
And-
backed out. So they definitely need help on that side of the
I mean,
ball.
Baltimore Ravens just known for having a smash mouth defense right now. And to be honest, I mean, their defensive backs are really good with Peters and Marlon Humphrey. Like, that's great and all. But on the defensive line, need to build a solid foundation. And I feel like one of those guys should be there.
Yeah. Another pick that they could target, which I don't think they will, but is the receiver position. They don't have a lot of
it's
receivers.
definitely an option.
They have obviously Mark Andrews right there, but again, they only really have one target, and that's Brown.
I'm surprised they're not trying to get some guy like Jarvis Landry.
I know. I don't know.
It makes
Me too.
sense. He wants a lot of money, it seems
I
like.
think, yeah.
And
that
I
has
don't
a
know
lot
if
to
he's
do with
worth a lot of money. But I feel like he would fit in there so well.
Yeah. And they haven't made any moves for a receiver, even if it's like a lower caliber player. I mean, obviously they're a run-heavy team, but still, you want those weapons out there just in case you need to use them, or even to take the defense kind of downfield a little bit to free up some space for your running back or for your quarterback in this position.
Yeah, that is true. And then finally, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They're taking a quarterback.
I think they are taking a quarterback. All the updated mock drafts, nobody has them taking offensive linemen, which kind of blows my mind.
Dude, you see
Honestly.
Mike Tomlin, he's going in, he's hosting all these quarterbacks, Sam Howell, Desmond Ryder. He showed so much interest in Malik Willis.
I don't know how I feel about it. If they got Malik Willis, I'd be excited. I don't think he's going to be there unless they trade up.
Nah, he's not going
There's
to be
no
there.
shot he's going to be there by the time they pick.
I seen a mock draft, and obviously it's a mock draft, but they traded up with the Panthers.
Yeah,
actually,
I've seen one like
Kenny
that.
P.
to get Malik Willis. They
Oh,
took
really?
Malik Willis.
Dang,
Yeah.
The
I think-
Panthers would trade
Mhm.
away?
That's
Man,
yeah.
'cause Sam Darnold's talking right now. You see what Sam Darnold said? He's like,
No.
oh, because people are saying that the Panthers could take a quarterback. I'm
Yeah.
not too worried about it. I know there's another team that would want me as a starter. That's what he said. I'm like,
Who?
I'm not too
Who?
sure. Well, that's what I was saying. I'm not too sure about that one. I don't know where you're hearing that from. That's a little crazy to me, but hey.
Oh man.
The one I seen, it had them taking Matt Corral. Is that his
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Which I feel like he's all right. Would you
Whoa.
be upset if they drafted a quarterback?
No. It depends who they take. In a
Bro,
way.
they got Trubisky. They got to believe in him, right? They got to believe in him.
No,
They gotta
they
believe
might
in
have
him.
signed him to be a backup. You never know, or
Yeah, but-
to not throw the rookie in the fire.
I mean, that's a pretty expensive backup.
No,
Really cheap,
$7
really cheap
$7
starter.
million a year.
Really cheap starter, pretty
Yeah.
expensive
Yeah.
backup.
Wasn't that? I mean, people do a lot worse. It's not that bad.
I mean, people do worse, but I guess so. Like,
I mean,
what are your intentions here?
What if Trubisky played like 4 weeks and then the rookie came in? Would you be upset with that?
I don't want Mitch Trubisky in Pittsburgh,
Makes sense.
and
Well,
I actually really don't want them to take a quarterback. To
Yeah.
be honest,
Elect-
But then what
like
do they have?
Offensive line. I
well,
think
they
is
got
what they should
Trubisky.
target.
They got
Yeah,
like
but-
apparently everybody loves it. Everybody loves it. So let's see it.
Not everyone.
Yeah, not me.
I mean,
But
me
let's
either,
freaking
but,
see it.
Like, I would rather them draft a quarterback and actually do good than.
Yeah. Right now,
Yeah.
it's leaning towards Desmond Ryder. I feel like, and they could even trade back to get him because
Yeah.
he might not really even be a first round
No,
pick.
I don't like that. I don't know.
Well, I
Again,
mean-
the quarterback class is getting dogged on so hard this year that it's just not exciting to take a QB this season.
Yeah, but you say that, and there's still probably going to be 4 quarterbacks taken in the first round, 3
Oh.
or 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there could
3
be.
or 4.
And I mean, here's
and
the thing
you could
too.
have 2 in the top 10, top
Yeah,
5.
yeah.
Well, that's aggressive.
You
but-
you never know what a player's going to do until they're in the NFL. So there could be all this trash talk, and again, they could come out here and one of these
I can't-
quarterbacks
I
could be the
mean,
next Tom Brady.
One of these quarterbacks is going to be good, I feel. I don't think they're all going to be bust. Somebody's going to
yeah, I mean,
You'll
it's no
be
guarantee.
good. I know. But
You'll be excited if they draft Kenny P and he does good.
100%.
Okay.
Even if they draft him.
Oh yeah, if he does good.
If
I
they
think
draft
you
Kenny Pickett,
anybody-
like if it's draft day, they get Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis, even Matt Corral, I'll be excited.
I mean, regardless, if they take a quarterback in the first round, you have to kind of get excited, even if you hate it, because it's a new starting quarterback, and there's
Something
a chance he
different.
could be your guy for the next 20 years.
Now, what if they don't take either a quarterback or an offensive lineman? Are you upset?
Yeah, I mean, there's talk of them possibly taking the linebacker,
Yeah.
like Devin
They
Lloyd, I
always
think
take
from Utah,
linebacker.
but like
But they got Miles Jack, though, so they don't need a linebacker
I know,
anymore.
I
He's a
don't think
beast.
they should
He's
do
a
that.
beast.
There's people talking about them getting a receiver, which is a terrible choice. I mean, they're good at drafting receivers, but don't do that in the first round. You guys always pick receivers in second.
Plus, you
third
don't got a
round.
quarterback to throw to.
Exactly. If
Yeah.
they don't go offensive line or QB,
Yeah, I'd
What-
say
what are you
I'd,
doing?
I'd be pretty upset.
So which of these teams is set up to be the best in the AFC North after the draft's all said and done?
I think the
Granted, they go
Ravens.
after the pieces.
I'm picking the Ravens.
I'm
I'm
the
pick-
Ravens are going to win the North.
I'm
Wow.
sticking with the Bengals. I think the Bengals just have too many pieces that are already on their team now, and they're destined to play into the
Yeah.
future. So I feel like they just have too many pieces that are going to work.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the Steelers might have it.
Bengals
not
have a
biased.
way
I do
tougher
believe.
schedule this year than they
I do
did last
believe.
year, and I'm expecting
they
a
do.
little
Dude,
bit
if
of a
Deshaun
struggle.
Watson wasn't such a scumbag and might not play, I'd pick the Browns. We'd all have a different one, but I can't do that. I think I'm going to go Bengals.
There's no way Deshaun
I think I'm
Watson's
going to
playing.
go Bengals.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say there's no way he's
man,
not playing.
If that happens, that'll be absolutely absurd. If there's no
if Kamara
suspension
plays,
or anything
if
like
Kamara plays.
that. I think
Kamara
his
could
situation's
play.
worse than Kamara's.
I mean, if the footage doesn't come out, Kamara's going to play.
Nobody's even talked about him in so long,
Exactly.
so-
They
Kamara's
know,
off
they
the
know
hook.
how to sweep stuff under the rug.
But this is far bigger than Kamara. It is. Even if it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
still not a great thing, like what Kamara did,
Yeah,
obviously.
But
this is way
if you
bigger.
see a video of Kamara and his boys beating the ever living crap
Yeah, if
out
a
of
video
somebody,
comes out, yes, but if
you
it
know,
doesn't,
those videos could look bad.
oh no,
you know?
you're right. You're right. But I just feel like
Plus Deshaun Watson's not guilty, right?
apparently,
like,
I mean, I
So
don't know.
far.
I don't know, dude. He is holding the Browns' fate like in his.
Oh, I
hands.
know.
They gave up everything.
the Browns are
the
done if
guaranteed
Deshaun Watson
contract,
isn't. Yep.
the picks
Mhm.
they gave up.
Yep.
Everybody in Cleveland hates the move.
Yep.
The owner hates the move, but they still made the move. And
They still
now
gave
they're in the
everything
pressure.
for it.
They're definitely in win now mode. Their team is amazing. Like it's all around,
Oh.
probably one of the most solid rosters all around. Yeah, it is.
They do have a good
But
roster,
Cleveland just
but-
can't put it together.
Exactly. Cleveland will Cleveland
Yeah.
it up and mess it all up,
Yeah.
and I can't wait.
They need another receiver, which I'm sure they'll
They do.
get.
Right.
Bring back Johnny
They-
Manziel.
heck out of here. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, Baker could come in and play.
Man, if Baker
He's
plays,
going to be in a situation
Oh
where
my
it might
gosh.
be in his best interest.
I think he's gonna get dropped. If
It
he doesn't
might
get
be
traded.
in Baker's best interest if
That
Deshaun Watson's out for, say, the first half
that
to
looks
show people you could
so
do
bad.
it.
That
But
looks
if he
so
doesn't
bad.
show people he could do it, how is he going to get another
Bro,
opportunity?
He will become the simp of the league if he plays for the Cleveland Browns. Every team that he wants to sign with will take advantage
Baker's
of
But
it.
you
gonna
got to
get-
think about it.
Baker's gonna get hated on no matter what he does.
Right, but if he comes in and he does very well,
But if he doesn't,
you know.
Here's the thing,
but
man.
if he doesn't,
he'd be betting on himself at that point.
I wouldn't bet on him.
Well, hey, like I said, I'd rather Baker Mayfield than Mitch Trubisky any day.
Hey, that might be an option for
Hey,
you.
there's big talks. If they just drop him, then we'd pick him up. But
I'm saying
Find
that. I
out.
know that's an unpopular opinion. I don't care. Mitch Trubisky's dog water. Have a good day, everybody.